Okay, welcome everyone to our Rock Stars Mega Cooking Class. Happy New Year. It's January 2023. I can't even believe it. And so we've got a great class for you guys tonight that's going to highlight our January 2023 specials, and I'll go over those at the end of the class as well. If this is your first mega class that you're either watching the recording of or watching us live, welcome. We do this every single month as our team. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and it is so much fun. It's a collaborative cooking class where we have rock stars from our team from all over the country presenting different recipes and different people presenting each month. So let me tell you what it's going to look like. We've got 4 recipes to share with you tonight. I'm going to share the first 2. Then I'm going to pass it off to my friend Stephanie, who's going to share an amazing recipe with you. And then my friend Sarah is going to share a great recipe with you. Then we're going to come back around and we're going to share all of the great things that you have to look forward to in the month of January with our Bon Business Starter, with some amazing enhanced rewards we've got going on, and then some great customer specials as well. So, and then at the very end, we've got some great giveaways to do. We're super generous with our giveaways, but you have to be present to win. So you guys, I'm going to tell you, we have the same people winning multiple times sometimes because they're consistent on being on here and supporting us, and we love that. So thank you for being here, and definitely plan to attend each month. And if you can't join us live, watch the recordings. So in the chat box, you're going to want to say who you are and who you are a guest of. If you are a guest, that's how we get you in the raffle. So if you'll just say, hey, my name is Terry. I'm a guest of Teresa Fuel. And yes, if you know the last name, put the last name, because we've got to make sure we do have some multiples of certain names. So we want to make sure we know who you are and we can get your prize to you if you win. So we have a gluten-free menu for you guys planned tonight. And so one of them is my favorite roasted tomato soup recipe. And I've been making this new gluten-free bread recipe. Yes, you guys, gluten-free bread. It is amazing. So I'm gonna teach you how to make that right now. So I've got my KitchenAid out. If you don't have a KitchenAid, you can still do this recipe. I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna be a lot easier with the KitchenAid if you have one. So when you do breads on the KitchenAid, a lot of times you use your dough hook, but for this recipe, you're gonna use the flat paddle, which looks like this. I've already pre-measured 2.5 cups of gluten-free flour. Now I will tell you guys the gluten-free flour that you want to use for this is the Pillsbury gluten-free flour, okay? There are several other gluten-free flours out there that I like for different reasons, but this particular recipe, I did try with 2 other gluten-free flours before I tried it with this one, and this was the winner for this recipe. So just let me be the one that tested it for you and take my word for it. That's the one to use. So 2.5 cups of gluten-free flour, and then I'm going to use the equivalent of 1 packet of the rapidized yeast, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And get all of that in there. Don't you love the pinch bowls for measuring? It's just fantastic. Okay, so then I'm going to take those dry ingredients and I'm just going to stir them to combine. Okay, then really important when you guys are making bread, whether it's gluten-free bread or gluten-filled bread, whatever it may be, it is really important that you have the correct water temperature, okay? So I've done this, it's 1.5 cups of warm water. I love our digital thermometer for checking your temp. So I can tell you that this water is 104 degrees and it needs to be between 100 and 110. So we're in a good position. So digital thermometer, great for that. So I'm going to go ahead and add this water to my mixture. And then I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup EVOO, which I've already pre-measured. We're also going to be adding honey to this recipe. Little bomb tip for you guys is put your oil, your butter, your shortening, whatever you're baking with first in your measuring cup, and then add your honey, because guess what? It'll slide right out of your measuring cup versus trying to scrape it out. So there's a little fun tip. I can't even remember which one of, it was one of my fellow rock stars that taught me that tip, and I can't remember which one it was. So thank you, whoever taught me that. So that's pretty cool little tip there. And you're going to see 1/4 of a cup oil I did, and then 1/4 of a cup honey I'm putting in this delicious bread recipe. And then I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, okay? And then I'm going to mix this just to combine on stir or 2 for about 1 minute, okay? And then the next thing that I'm gonna add after that is going to be 3 egg whites at room temperature. I already have separated the egg whites for you. So I've got 3 egg whites in here. Whether you're separating them yourself with the fresh eggs or you're using a carton of egg whites, it's up to you. Just make sure you have them at room temperature. Anytime a recipe says have something at room temperature, it's really important that you have that, okay? So then the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 3 egg whites at room temperature and 1 teaspoon of salt to this mixture. And I'm gonna mix, keep going on this lower speed until everything is combined. And then once everything is combined well, I'm going to turn it up to a medium high because I really want to put some air into those egg whites, okay? Now this is gonna go for 1 minute. So I apologize for the noise, you're gonna bear with me for 1 minute is all. But while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and make some space here. Chance, can I pass this to you? I'm done with that. This. Okay. So then, next up, I'm gonna show you guys what I bake this amazing bread in is our Silkworm bread deep dish round mold, okay? This guy is on one of our specials in the month of January, and it is gonna create this gorgeous bread. So let me go ahead and turn this off. Okay, that was close enough to a minute. So I wanna show you this batter, you guys, and this batter is more like a cake batter than it's going to be like a bread batter, but don't be afraid to put it in your Silkworm. I promise you, it's not gonna come through the holes, it's gonna work, okay? And that is gonna give you your best result. Now, because I've already made 2 in my Silkworm, I'm going to put it in my large loaf tray. I love this. If you're looking for a gluten-free sandwich bread, this is gonna be your best option. Now, I'm gonna show you the difference between the 2 here in just a minute, but I wanna get this batter and I wanna get this out of the way. So I'm gonna pass this off to my husband this way so that we can get that out of our space here. So now this batter, let me show you how this comes out. It's nice and thick, but it is more of a batter. So you guys can see that, how that just goes into my large loaf mold, okay? So now this guy, our general rule of thumb with any of our flexi pans, whether they're molds, trays, is to fill about 2/3 full. So I happen to know from making this recipe before that I can fill this pretty much all the way full. But I gotta tell you guys, what I love to do anytime I'm baking is to use my mini round mold. So this mini round mold, I did a little extra of this bread in here, and I'm gonna do the same thing right now with this dough, and then I can do a test of it. So if you're gonna want to keep that loaf intact for later, maybe you're taking it somewhere, maybe you're going to a cooking class, like I'm coming to your house to do a cooking class, how fun would that be? But I'm gonna wanna keep it intact. But I like to test my recipes. So I like to use my mini round mold more as my tester, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna give you that, and can you pass me a towel, please? I have this towel sitting here, and I think it got cleaned up. Okay, perfect. So this is my mini round mold. I love it because you can do, I'm gonna move these off here, put this one on here. Okay, so now these guys are ready to rise. What do? You're gonna cover them, okay? So you're gonna cover with your octagonal bond mat, or with the loaf mold, I like to cover it with my small bond mat. You know, you think you have everything out and then you realize you don't. But okay, so I'm gonna cover it and let it rise like that for about half an hour before I bake it. Super duper duper simple, okay? Okay, then let me show you the finished results. This is really fun, you guys. Okay, so this is my Silkworm. I don't know what you need, right? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna peel it back. And this does, and you can hear it, crunch, crunch, crunch. It's gluten-free, you guys, look at this. Look at that gorgeous result. Gluten-free bread. Does that look amazing or what? Now I've got to show you, Chance, can you pass me that whole cutting board, please? Okay, so I've got to show you guys the difference between the gluten-free and the flexi pan. Can you see the different crunch texture there on the Silkworm versus the flexi pan? And you can still make bread in flexi pan that you're going to see me do, but you're not going to get that artisan crunch on there without the Silkworm. Okay, so now this loaf, when you make this gluten-free bread, you can actually freeze it. So this one was frozen ahead of time and then pulled out to show you guys, which is pretty cool. So this other one is fresh, and I'm gonna cut into this right now. It's still warm, and I wanna show you guys. Now, this is another tip I learned from a fellow rock star, is when you wanna cut bread and you don't wanna squish it, turn it on its side like this, And then you're gonna be able to cut right through it, which is great. Look at this gorgeous gluten-free bread. How gorgeous is that? Okay, perfect. So that recipe we got for you guys. If you haven't received it yet, your consultant has it and they're gonna get it to you. So now to go with that, what's better than some yummy roasted tomato soup? So this is the easiest recipe in the world, and it was one of our family favorites. So the recipe calls for 4 pounds of Roma tomatoes. I just want to show you what that looks like, because I've already got some roasted to show you the end result. So those are my roasted tomatoes in the large round, the medium round, and the grande round. That's about the equivalent of 4.5 pounds of tomatoes. And the Roma tomatoes are the tomatoes that are kind of an oblong oval shape. I just cut them in half, face down in whatever flexi pan mold. I used to do this in my flexi flat or my rectangular flexi pat, but you'll see why I like to do them in the round here in just a minute. So now you're gonna drizzle. Yes, the recipe says that in totality, about 1/3 cup oil. You can go a little less oil if you want. It's gonna take at least about 1/4 cup though of oil. Now, I'm using the Tuscan herb oil. When our basil oil is in stock, that's my favorite, but I basically drizzle. I don't measure. I just drizzle the oil on top. I have also made this soup with avocado oil, you guys, and I've done it with EVOO. So then I'm gonna take a generous amount. It's about 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt that I'm gonna throw on top of there. And then I've already peeled the garlic. I've already put the garlic pieces in the soup that was roasted already. I'm gonna add them whole because I put them in my Vitamix to blend them up. If you're gonna use an immersion blender, then I highly recommend you mince the garlic, and the best way to do that is with our mini herb chopper. But you can see how gorgeous that is. I'm gonna put that in the oven, 425 degrees, for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Now you're gonna know it's finished when you can see how the tops of the skin is starting to wrinkle and it's going to crack. My eye watch, I need to remember not to wear it when I do this class. So this is the container for my Vitamix. Again, you can use an immersion blender, you can use your own blender, whatever. I just want to show you how easy it is to take these roasted tomatoes and pour them in here to then blend up and make a smooth soup. Because it's flexible, look at that, you guys. You just pick it up and I can pour the whole thing in there. Voila, done. I'm not going to run this loud blender on this video, but I'm just going to kind of tell you what I do next. So I put all of that in there. And then I'm going to blend that up, like I said, and then I'm gonna put it in my stock pot or soup pan, and then I'm gonna season it up with our rosemary, basil, thyme, herb blend. This stuff is amazing, you guys. You're gonna use about 2 to 3 tablespoons in here. Then you're gonna add some salt and pepper to taste, and then just let those flavors just blend together and cook for at least 30 minutes. If when you taste it, it's a little bit on the bitter side, you can add a carrot or a handful of the baby carrots, maybe 5 or 6 baby carrots, to help kind of take that bitterness off, tone it down, sweeten it up a bit. But if you like the flavor and it's not bitter to you, then you don't need the carrot. It's just an option. Sometimes people have an issue with tomatoes being too bitter. And it really just depends on the tomatoes that you have. If you have a more bitter tomato or a sweet tomato. So roasted tomato soup, super easy to make. Then when you're done with making your soup and you've eaten what you want to eat, you can use our round tray to freeze it. I love this. Chance, will you grab the potato soup out of the freezer? So this is 6 1-cup portions of soup. And so I'll just pour the tomato soup in there, cover it with my Bon mat, put it in the freezer. And then when it's ready to come out, you can see this is what I did at Christmas time. I've got these coffee pucks of soup already frozen, 1 8-ounce portion each. So then I can just warm that up in my mini round mold in the microwave, and voila, amazing soup, frozen and fresh to enjoy. So definitely make this, put this on your menu for this week. You guys are gonna love it. And I am now gonna pass it off to my friend Stephanie, who's gonna share another amazing healthy recipe with you guys today.
Okay, hello everybody. Teresa, that was amazing. That gluten-free bread looks so amazing. And I never knew that trick to stand up the bread and do it sideways. I literally just stepped aside and started doing that with my bread because I'm cutting it up, making it into garlic bread tonight for my family because I'm feeding them this amazing, healthy chicken parm. So Tina, I think this was originally your recipe or Teresa's. Thank you guys. Remember, if you want this recipe, talk to your consultant that invited you because you will get it. So the first thing I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to make the sauce a little bit better than normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my small round mold, octagonal Bon mat, And there's that Vitamix. I know I've got one too. I had like a really nice jar of marinara sauce, but it's not enough to feed my family and then some. So I added some diced tomatoes in here and I blended it all together. So I'm going to pour this in, not all of it, probably half of it. And I am going to put in some of our traditional dark balsamic in here, really just a tablespoon, you guys. Really enhances the flavor for sure. But also, I mean, first of all, look at how cute that is, right? So I'm gonna mix it up here just real fast. And then I'm gonna heat it up, get those flavors really to just meld together. I'm gonna throw it in my microwave just for a minute. And while that is cooking, you guys, I'm gonna get ready with the chicken. Now we talked about chicken parm, right? Typically your chicken parm is breaded and then fried, but really you're looking for that like that Italian cheesy marinara flavoring. You can totally do it in the oven and think about how easy the cleanup is. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your mold. So I've got a medium round mold here. And I'm going to take some chicken pieces. Now, if you have chicken breast or chicken tenderloin or whatever, I do this with my veggies too. I try to cut them ahead of time bite size because then nobody's got to cut them at the dinner table. If you like them a little bit bigger, you don't mind cutting them at the dinner table, by all means, make them a little bit bigger, but not huge. I had, I think, 2 packages of chicken breasts, and you can either pound them so that they're all the same layer, or you can cut them, kind of fillet them so that they're all the same layer. So you're really looking at roughly the same size. Okay. So I've got some chicken breasts in there. What I'm going to add is our French Pantry Tuscan herb olive oil. Amazing, super fabulous flavor. You really can do this however it is that you want. Garlic oil is great. Basil oil is great. And really any of our oils are fabulous. This whole French Pantry line is amazing. Then I'm going to add some of our celery salt. Comes in a glass grinder with a huge refill. So I'm going to throw that on there, of course, to your liking. Some people like salt more than others. Pull out your pepper alley, choose the flavor of pepper that you want. Remember, 5 different flavors of pepper from around the world. I have my Madagascar pepper connected to the grinder part. And so I'm gonna add that in there. And again, however it is that you want. Remember, best part about this stuff is you can make it customizable for whatever it is that you and your family love. But I am going to pull out that rosemary, basil, and thyme herb blend, the same one Teresa used. And I'm going to put probably, really, I would do a tablespoon if this was my full 9x13 or grande mold, but I'm going to put just probably a half a tablespoon in there. And then I'm just going to mix it up. Okay. So it's got some Italian seasoning, some salt and pepper, some of our Tuscan herb, and I'm going to put it in the oven, you guys, just like that, okay? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roast it. So I'm going to do that for about 10 minutes at 375, really till it's just about done. And then I'm going to take it out, and magic of virtual cooking, you guys, you get to see what it looks like. So I had made some in my rectangular tray, right? My 9x13x2, and same thing, obviously a little bit more chicken, same flavoring, though again, you can mix it up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna take that sauce, and remember the trick is always to let that steam escape before you take it out of the microwave, or you will get a facial whether you want one or not, right? So we've got that steam coming out all on its own. Of course, my mold is cool to the touch because it doesn't hold that heat. I'm gonna literally just pour it right on top of my chicken. You can mix it up, you can leave it on, whatever it is that you'd like. And I'm going to spread that out just a little bit because who doesn't want some of that fabulous sauce, right? If you guys are big into sauce, or you know you're going to be serving this with a lot of pasta or whatever, zucchini noodles, you can add more sauce if you'd like. If you guys are not huge on sauce, you don't have to add as much, whatever you'd like. But I've got sauce there, and then cheese. Now, here's the deal about this one, you guys. Remember, we talked about healthier, and Tina probably is going to, I think it's your recipe, Tina. She's probably going to be like, whoa, too much cheese. She is the healthy one of our Bon Cook leaders, one of the healthy ones, I should say. I am big into cheese, and my family is too. So I added a little bit more cheese than the recipe calls for. It's still healthy because I'm not frying it, right? So just like that, I'm going to put it in for another 10 minutes, you guys. And it's just going to make that cheese all bubbly. And again, magic of virtual cooking means you can see it when it's done. So take a look at this. This is the part that I made in the grande mold. I mean, tell me that's not beautiful. right? And it was so fast. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your beautiful plate, and you can totally do this on a serving plate. You're going to take your plate and you're going to put your pasta, or if you're going to do zucchini noodles or whatever, you totally put that on there. Then you're going to take a little bit of this chicken, again, customizable to what it is that you guys and your family will eat. If you are big into sauce, like I said, feel free to put some of that sauce on there or a little bit more sauce. Of course, you can always take some more fresh Parmesan. Again, not quite as healthy if you're throwing on that cheese, but there's that to begin. And then, of course, we always try to want to juice it up, right? So I'm going to take a little bit of parsley. Don't need a lot. And I'm going to, instead of dicing and batting it all over the place, I'm going to pull out our Eco Chop. If you don't have this, talk to your consultant because you want it, especially right now as you are doing lots of veggies come January 1st, right? Going to throw it in my Eco Chop. And of course, this is amazing for chopping your onions and your peppers and your garlic and ricing your cauliflower now that we're all doing super healthy again, right? But also it's great for shredding your chicken, mixing your herbs, your onions, all that stuff. Okay. The tip to this Eco Chop is the more you pull it, the finer it gets. So I think that was like 3, right? But I can keep going. I'm going to make it a little bit finer. And of course, any herb works for this. Now we've got it a little bit diced up. I'm going to top that on there. Pull out some of my bread, my leftover bread. Look at that. Literally took 20 minutes in the oven. How amazing is that? So there you guys go. A little bit healthier. Again, leave off those noodles and a little bit less cheese if you're really looking for some extra healthy chicken parm, or you can put it a little bit on there for a little bit more customizable. Depends on what you and your family love. So bon appetit. We're going to pass that on to Sarah now. She is going to walk us through a really fabulous dessert. Perfect for what you guys need this time of year, of course.
Hey, everybody. So they actually gave me the heart of the show, I have to say, because we have a couple of the deep heart tray that we're going to be using. And then I also have the Tender Hearts mold. This one is so adorable. Love how the cake turned out. Like I said, the beauty of virtual cooking is I already had this completed last night. The funny thing is that I tried 3 of these, and as you can see, there's only 2. So I'm going to tell you that the husband taste tested and approved of that one. So, but I want to show you how well they come out of here. I never really was a baker until I got into Bon Cook. I baked, but it never really turned out. So that's what I love about Bon Cook. You don't have to spray, grease, flour. And I think that was some of my most frustrating parts when I was baking, is I just hated doing all those extra steps. With Bon Cook, you do not need to do that. So the biggest thing is, we already heard from Teresa about like your egg whites. When you have a recipe that calls for egg whites or eggs to be room temperature, make sure that they are at room temperature. So in making this cake, where the fluff and where that rise comes from, because this is a gluten-free recipe, as you can see, and I'll unmold this for you here shortly, but that's where you get that rise out of it, is those egg whites. And so when you're looking at the recipe, you want to make sure that you read all the way through your steps first before you start. Make sure you have all your ingredients on hand. And this one had 4 eggs that were separated at room temperature. You actually end up doing the yolks themselves, and then also the egg whites. So the egg whites are stiff peaks and things like that. So very important to do that thing. This turned out beautifully, and gluten-free can be very tricky and fussy at times. So I felt this recipe, when you follow it in the steps, it's pretty much foolproof. So let me unmold this for you really quickly. I'll show you that here. It's actually, this is so cute. So in the comments, I'd like to see, are you a heart tray, or do you think you'd be a heart mold? So here you have it. Let me just show you the back of that, because our stuff cooks up so nicely. And I'm gonna just put this on a little tray here, and then I'm gonna pop these out of here, and then we're gonna make a quick glaze. So as you can see, cleanup's gonna be super easy. All right, so for this, I'm just gonna simply pop that out of there. These are gorgeous and a cute little add-on if you want to. And there is our second one. Here we go. All right. So seeing some comments for both. Aha, and both. I agree with that. All right, I'm actually going to be using our French pâté, the Meyer lemon. Now, I actually have never seen, I think it's pronounced Meyer lemon. I've never seen them, and at Costco, they had them, so I was super excited. They actually are a blend between lemon and mandarin. We're going to be using our citrus press, and then also a little bit of zest grating. Now, this is something fun about our grater. So you can actually take this little lid off of here and put this on here, and that's gonna hold all of your lemon zest in there. And we'll zest up something really quick here so you can just kind of see how that works. And we're gonna be putting this in the lemon glaze that we're gonna be doing for over the cake. All right, that smells really wonderful. I always like the smell of citrus. All right, I think that's probably enough, and that rolls away. All right, so I've got 1 cup of powdered sugar in here. We're gonna be using our mini whisk along with the stainless steel mixing bowl. So I wanted to show you guys this. I know Valentine's Day is a little ways off. However, this, if you guys have a guy in your life that needs a really awesome gift, this is a fantastic gift. So this is our knife. This is the Guy de Maro, and this is the Santuco knife. And I'm just gonna cut up our lemon here with this, and then we're gonna be juicing our lemon in here to help with that glaze. And that's really the only 2 ingredients. I've got 2 here. We'll just see how far this goes. The recipe calls for 2 cups, but I'm doing, the cake is smaller, so I'm gonna be doing just the 1. All right. So it depends on what your thickness is, and then you can just add in a little bit more. I think I'm gonna add in a little bit more unless you wanted a thicker glaze like that, but I'm gonna add a little bit more lemon in there. And I love lemon, so that should not be a problem. And then I'll add our zest in there as well. All right, so you can just take this, holds it all nicely there. Then you just dump it in, whisk it up. And you've got yourself a nice glaze, and you can pour that over your cake, which I will do. Now with this, if you want to kind of emulsify it just a little bit, you can probably do like maybe a tablespoon, and like them, I really don't measure either. So it's the best guess. And that's probably why I don't like baking either, because everything is measured. And for the most part, you do need to measure things, but this has made life a lot easier. So here's our nice glaze. It smells amazing. If anybody's coming over for dessert, please let me know. And then you can just drizzle that over there. I think I'll do kind of just a little crossover like this. And this would pair nicely with what those ladies have in regards to almost like an Italian meal that they got going on there. So here we have our little muffins that we did that came out beautifully, and then our little heart cake. So bon appetit. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. I am going to, can everyone see my screen now? Awesome. Okay, so what we're doing is I'm going to show you our January specials. And then remember, if you have not yet put your name in the chat box with who you're a guest of, please do that, because we want to make sure that everybody gets into our raffle drawing. So we've got some great specials in January. And as you can see, these specials are highlighted by what we shared with you tonight. So the first one is the break bread special that you can see here. I hope everyone, Lauren, can you give me a thumbs up? Let me know you can see my screen okay. Awesome. Okay. So the break bread, that includes that silkworm deep dish round mold that I showed that amazing bread in. We've got a great recipe for, actually gluten-full recipe. Artisan bread is amazing as well. It's not just, but we've got this gluten-free recipe for those of you who eat gluten-free. And then included with that deep dish round silkworm mold, you can choose between either the stainless skimming ladle or the square serving board, okay? And the square serving board is what I was using with all my prep stuff. So you can see all that stuff out and being used. Then you get your choice of either the rosemary basil thyme herb blend, the herbes de Provence, or the bouquet garnet. All amazing herb blends. So definitely check that out. And one of you is going to be gifted the rosemary basil thyme herb blend tonight, so you can choose the other one when you buy your special. So that's kind of exciting. And then you, as we often do, you can add on when you buy that break bread bundle for $60 and its retails of $81.86. You can add on the medium perforated baking sheet for only $30 and it's only $35. So that's a nice little bundle there to get ahead of all the soup season that we're going into. Then we've got this great bundle as we go into the heart month and Valentine's Day of February. Be ready for it, but much love. You have your choice of the small heart mold or the tender heart mold. And then you have your choice of either the fluted heart cutters or the straight heart cutters. This is amazing, guys, because this would normally be $68 for these items, but you can get them for $50. So that's a great savings there for sure. And then, as we mentioned before, you can add on the deep heart tray for only $45, and it's normally $66. So definitely skip this one up. If you do not own these heart pieces, you guys, you're going to love them. I always say anything made with heart is made with extra love. So even my teenage boys love it when I make things heart-shaped. So definitely consider getting this much love bundle in January. And then last but not least is our Fresh New Year bundle. This is really fun. If you love our French pantry, you know this is a great way to stock up. If you're new to our French pantry, it's a great way to try things out. But for only $40, you can get the artichoke tapenade, the Provence apricot jam, the set of 4 pinch bowls, and 4 jar spoons. I'm going to tell you guys, anywhere I showed these pinch bowls over the holiday season, people were buying the 4 pinch bowls and the set of 4 jar spoons for gifts. And so this is a great deal to get all of these pieces at a discount. Normally it would be $61. You can get this bundle for $40. And then when you purchase that bundle, you can choose to add on the medium bond mat for only $15, which is great as well. So we've got some great customer specials there. Definitely reach out to your consultant to help getting those ordered. Now, we always say there's 3 ways to be a part of our bond community. And we here at our Rockstars team, our favorite way is to be a part of our team. And so you've got to see, I'm really excited about our bond business starter in the month of January because it is reduced price of $85, but it also includes some new items. So you can see that we've changed it up a bit and we're including our round tray, which is what I showed you. I saved for soup, and you can never have too many of these, you guys. So if you already own one and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to join because I don't like what's in the kit. Well, first of all, that's a silly reason. Join because you want everything that comes with it in addition to what's in the business kit. But I will tell you, you guys, this is one I own 2 of, and there are times when I could use 3 when I'm doing a lot of freezing of soup. But this round tray, phenomenal for lots of great things. And then the large round mold, that was one of the ones I showed with my soup recipe as well. It's pictured here with this beautiful cheesecake, very versatile mold. So it's a great one for everyone to own. And then of course the medium perforated baking sheet, the medium bond mat, your very own bond cook apron, and the heat resistant spatula. So we do have 5 business kits to choose from. I'll scroll through them briefly, but I will tell you, I tell everyone that joins our team that go with the $85 business kit. And because we are the #1 team, we will teach you how to earn everything else for free. So now, if you're somebody who doesn't like to wait for what's coming, you can add on to your, you can level up and you can choose a different business kit because these are also some great savings for $111. Now you can add on the fluted round mold to those other items. Then you can look at the next level, includes some of our French pantry. So if you have a lot of FlexiPant and you just want to get started with French pantry, you can do that. And then the next level includes the $85 items plus the French pantry. And at the top, for $311, you can get this great sampling of our French pantry along with all of those flexible items offered in the $85 kit as well. Now, the real excitement comes with hosting a class in the month of January, you guys, because we have some accelerated rewards. And I'm really excited about this. If I can get all these windows out, I will show you. So we've got some bonuses happening January 1st through the 10th, okay? So in the first 10 days of the month, which you might be sitting there being like, well, it's almost the 10th. It's not, you guys, it's the 2nd. There's plenty of time. And whether you're doing an in-person class or you're doing a virtual class, you can book it today. I just booked a class for Thursday, January 5th today. And I also booked one yesterday for the 12th. So there's time to book classes. Virtual classes, you can book right now and get started tonight, okay? So definitely reach out to your consultant and talk to him or her about getting scheduled because you're not gonna wanna miss these rewards, you guys. So our regular rewards are very generous. And I know that this is not the easiest form to follow, but I want you to understand, when you invite some of your friends to come together, we always say the golden number is 10. We love that number of 10. However, you can invite less and have a really great party, and you can invite more. But with the average of our customer purchase average and the numbers, when you have 10 people at your party, you are more than likely going to hit this Bond Elite level of 1,200, which means you get 20% of that amount free. That means you get to go on a shopping spree and you're not paying for it. Bond Cook is paying for it, and you get over $240 to just buy whatever you want from our catalog, which is really exciting. But when you do this by January 10th, you get not only that shopping spree of 240, but you also get the grande round mold. That was the mold I showed you at the end, putting the tomatoes in for the tomato soup. You get a square bond mat, which is the perfect lid for that grande round mold, and you get a free deep part tray. It's $145 value. That's in addition to that $240 free. That is all assuming you get to that Bond Elite level. Now, even if you don't get to the Bond Elite level, let's say you do a smaller class and you're gonna get to that Bond VIP level. At that Bond VIP level, you guys, this is still super generous. So look at what you get when you get your friends together and combined, they are gonna all purchase $800. You're going to get select choice of 3 select tools, choice of 6 food items, a medium baking sheet, a medium bond mat. Yes, your choice of mold, $46 value. And then you're going to get those bonus gifts that I just mentioned. You're going to also get 50% off item. This is at any level, 50% off item because you did the class. Okay, you did a qualifying class. Qualifying class is $400. That's our lowest level. Still generous gifts there. When you do a $400 and higher class, you get a 50%2% off item. And in the month of January, the 50% off items are double. So just for doing the class, even if it's only $400, you're gonna get two 50% off items plus the 3 tools, okay? So you can just see it grows from there. So this is our lower level, then you go to 600, then you go to 800, and then we always say the goal is the Bond Elite level. So the entire month of January, we have double 50% off items. So you earn your first 2 items in January just because you did the party. Now, how do you earn upwards of 6 more items at 50% off? I know that sounds a little crazy. It's a great way to build your collection fast. For each booking that you have off of your class, that means you invite your 10 friends and 1, 2, 3 of those friends book their own class, whether it's in January, whether it's in February, whether it's in March, they book a future class with one of us. And guess what? You've just earned yourself 2 50% off items. So that's really exciting how it builds on itself. So we've got, like I said, January 1st to the 10th, we've got this bonus exclusive here of the $145 bonus gift that comes in at a $600 class level all month long at both levels, at both, I'll show you the next one. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The double 50% off items are the entire month. So when January 11th rolls, we're still going to give you a bonus gift, but it's going to be smaller than what we're giving you the first 10 days of the month. So the bonus gift, January 11th to the 31st with a $600 class, that's wonderful, you guys, because normally those bonus gifts come at the 800 level. So at a 600 level, you're going to get this rectangular flexi pack, also an item you cannot have too many of, but those double 50% off items are all month long. So definitely, if you've been sitting there thinking about wanting to do your own class, reach out to your consultant, talk to him or her about getting it scheduled virtual or in person in the month of January, because the rewards are amazing. And we've got those enhanced rewards this month. So as always, just to sum it up for you guys, reach out to your consultant to get the recipes from tonight, to also talk to him or her about considering joining our Rockstars team, which you can see, we have a lot of fun together, we collaborate together, and there's a lot of great people to learn from here. If you're not interested in joining the business, then consider hosting a cooking class. I challenge you all to get that booked in the first 10 days of the month so you get the most benefit from those rewards. But then if you're just interested in being a customer, go to your friends' classes, support them, and purchase these customer specials then, or reach out to your consultant to get these right away so you can start using them in your menus this month. So, all right, any questions from any of you out there? And Lauren, are we ready to do some raffles? Awesome. Okay, so I am going to, I've got my oven beeping here, so I'm gonna have to check that out, but I am going to put my spotlight on here. And then Lauren, you wanna, I'm gonna see if I can add spotlight. There we go. Perfect. Okay, do you have everybody in the wheel, Lauren? You're muted, by the way.
I do. I have everybody in the wheel.
Awesome. Okay, let me get my tomatoes out because, you know, I am multitasking. Okay, so there's the rest of my tomato soup here. This is the grande round mold, which remember that one of those bonuses, you guys. And then I want to show you, I think it's asked a question about serving sizes. So this soup So this is the soup that I made. And yes, it is approximately 6 servings. Now, if you're going to serve it where you're going to just do, you know, dipping grilled cheese in there or something like that, then you're going to be able to get more than 6 servings out of that recipe. But if you're sitting down, you're eating a bowl of soup, it is going to be about 4 to 6 servings of a good, generous serving of soup. So, okay, so let's do some raffles. So let's say the first bundle that we're going to raffle off is going to be the Tuscan herb oil with the rosemary, basil, thyme herb blend and celery salt. So those items you're going to want for making the tomato soup. Then I'm also going to gift somebody a round tray this month because, like I said, you can never have too many of these. And even if you're going to join our team, you're going to be happy to have a second one of these this month because you're going to do, if you're anything like me in the winter, you do more soup. And so we're freezing that more. So, and then so the first winner, I guess we'll let the first winner pick between those two. And then I'm also going to do an accessory bundle for our third winner tonight. So let's go ahead and spin that wheel. I'm gonna let the first person choose.
All right, it's going. Uh-oh.
I know the glare, it's kind of hard to see. I'm like ready to move my computer so I can see it, but that's not gonna help. So there you go, is it? Oh, is it Tana?
Tana Banker.
Tana Baker, awesome. Jan looks excited. It must be Jan's guess. Okay, so Tana, can you tell us, would you rather have the round tray or the French pantry for making the soup or the accessory bundle? Let's see if Tana's going to text in there. Okay, we'll go ahead and spin the next person. And then Jan, if you can let us know what Tana wants, that would be awesome.
Okay,
we'll go ahead and spin for the next one.
Oops. What do you see? There you go.
Yay.
Stacy Ransom?
Stacy, congratulations. Okay, do we have an answer from Tana yet? Okay, just let us know, Jan. Otherwise, Stacy. Okay, Jan. Okay, so Tana wants the accessory bundle. Perfect. And then Stacy, do you want the round tray or the bundle for making the tomato soup? Okay, go ahead and spin the wheel and we'll see what Stacy says.
All right.
Stacy has the round tray, so she'll do the bundle. Okay, so Stacy is gonna get the bundle. And then the next winner gets the round tray.
Elizabeth Gray Kwan.
Awesome, Elizabeth, you're getting the round tray. This is funny because I thought this would have been the first one picked and it was the last one picked. But you're gonna be really excited with that, Elizabeth. So congratulations. Okay, do we have any questions for anyone tonight? Okay, awesome. Well, we really appreciate everyone being on here tonight. And thank you to all of our amazing presenters. And thank you, for those who don't know, it was Lauren's first time co-hosting tonight. She did an amazing job. So thank you, Lauren. We couldn't do it without you. We have the best team ever, you guys. And I just want to say, once again, thank you to all our rock stars for making this happen. Thank you to all of you guests for being there. We will see you in February. And we can't wait for that month to join and share more with you in the month of February. And have a great night, everyone. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.